John in Georgia. You're talking to Eric and V. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing today?
Hanging in there?
Well, actually, yeah. No, doing good. What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, Eric, I called in maybe 2 weeks ago when Lloyd was on with you, and I asked y'all what would be the evidence you're looking for, I think. And you did tell me you went on a thing about if somebody wrote a letter and I saw it, I could assume by the handwriting and whatnot who wrote that letter. And I agree with you, but I've been thinking, why did it seem like it seemed, again, I'm sorry to be, if I sound aggressive, but why did it seem like you are cowarding away from actually giving substance? Like, what are you looking for? Like, say, I say there's a God. You say no. What kind of evidence would you be looking for specifically?
Well, so it would need, number one, I don't take that as an insult, so no worries, man. Okay. You're not talking about me, you're talking about an action. You think that it is a kind of a cowardly action not to give you the answer of what I think would convince me. So let's dive in. John,
okay.
If you were to tell me that your definition of God was something very ordinary, and then you showed me that ordinary thing, I would say, okay, I accept that. And we'd be on our merry way. There are so many people that call in, I'm sure you've seen, with totally different definitions of God. And so I can't make a blanket statement about people I've never met or don't know what they believe. So generally when they call in, we find out what they believe and then talk to them about that. So for me to respond to whether or not I think your definition of God exists, I need to know what your definition of God is. Is there something? Is there a descriptor? Are there qualities to your God? What does your God do? Do they answer prayers? Are there more than one of them? Talk to me.
Well, that's a very good point, and I agree. Basically, I'll start with thus a creator of things, an all-powerful thing above us that created us. And, I won't get to the Bible yet. I'll just go with creator for now. Okay.
So I think, the snarky answer is, well, I know how I was created. When a mom and dad love each other very much, where was God in that process? I don't understand, because I understand my conception, birth, and life, and I don't see God anywhere in there.
Well, basically, I guess we have to go back to the beginning of the universe, and I know we could all go to, I forgot his name, Sean, somebody who thinks the universe always been here and multiverses, but, basically the question is simple. Do you think it just sprung into existence out of nothing and ordered itself? I mean, I see characteristics of order, and you don't get order from just random processes, I don't believe.
I think you do, John.
Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. Sediment. I can ask you to take rocks of different sizes and mix them all up in a bottle, and if you shake it enough, they'll separate, right? It doesn't take a brain to cause that separation. It just takes natural interactions in this world. When you're talking about the instantiation of the universe, John, I think we could probably come to a place of agreement. I have no idea. I don't know. Do you? Because...
Oh, no. I will accept that. I do not know either.
Okay, so my response is, I don't know. If your response is something other than I don't know, then I'm going to ask you about it and ask you to show me evidence for it, because I want to learn.
Okay, very fast, very simple, because I know y'all have other callers. When I look at the universe and how it began, with as far as the Big Bang Theory, with the ordering of everything, planets, stars, whatever, me personally, and maybe you can help me with this, but me personally, I don't see how stuff could just order itself into today. You understand what I mean?
I do. I understand where you're going with this. my question is, do you know what the God of the Gaps fallacy is?
Yes. Actually, Matt Dillahunty has explained it to me a few times. Huh.
Yeah, so I guess my question for you is, why is this not a God of the Gaps fallacy?
Well, because simply to me, I do not see any of the examples of organization randomly
Eric just
that
gave you
leads
one,
up
though.
to a. Well, yes, he did, but that is. I wouldn't say that example gets you anywhere as far as where we are today. I don't know how. I'm kind of lost here. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
That's okay. So we live in a universe that has some pretty constant things. We have some understanding of gravity. We have a good understanding of light and waves. We have a growing understanding of molecules and discrete quanta, using the actual definition. And we're learning more and more. And usually we go, okay, here's what we've learned thus far. We're not saying we don't know or you don't know, therefore, bleh. So why are you doing it? V just asked you, and hopefully that kind of helps.
I'm not surprised you're here, but I have heard y'all explain the God of Gaps, and to be honest, it makes sense. There used to be a lot we did not know how it happened, but now we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to ask y'all, is it kind of like y'all are saying, since we know a lot now, we might know these questions that I'm asking in the future? Is that, am I getting close?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. I think what I'm saying, at least, can't speak for every atheist, but for me, I think that right now we don't know, but because we also have a track record of figuring things out pretty well, I'm hesitant to make a claim about it yet because we don't have the information that we might have later on down the line.
But I'd love to live in a world where we do learn these themes.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that, like V said, that's based in evidence, right? We have evidence for learning more. Yeah, that was good.
Well, just to end up the call, when you gave the example that I think you said you could shake up a bottle and it could, cause something to happen, I think, I'm sorry if I'm destroying your argument there, but we're destroying it as not explaining it, correct? But are you saying basically that, look, we know now that, life can evolve as far as traits within species. Eventually, we might know how we get from this species to another one.
We do know how.
Again, am I getting close?
Well, we do know how species diverge and become other species as well.
Well, I would have to look into that because I don't think y'all want to spend the rest of the show explaining that to me.
Well, I mean, it's a quick explanation, and that is that if you have two divergent branches of a species, if they diverge too much, then at some point they're no longer going to be able to procreate, and they're no longer able to, make babies. And at that point, they are different species. That's it. That's speciation.
Yes, I've heard that. Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Well, here's what I would like to ask you, if you don't mind. And I know a lot of people get on to creationists for this, but when you said they're no longer able to procreate, so therefore they're different species, I understand that. But, Eric, aren't they kind of the same, for lack of a better word, species as far as, say, a lizard? Over a long time, lizards cannot procreate with the beginning lizards, but they're still lizards, aren't they?
Well,
where am I getting confused here?
So two things. Number one, that's prescriptivist. We created this category of lizard so that we can understand those things that fit those qualities, right? But aside from just that, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because definitions. I'm sorry. The other is that there are examples of species changing, and there's one really famous one, and it starts with an A. I bet you it's in the live chat. Just going from one type to another, and we can see evidence of that in skeletons, in fossils, and it like.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we have evidence there. I mean, you can look at a whale and see that there are bones on it that no longer serve a purpose, but maybe once did. It's there. I don't understand where you're going. Like, would you need me to show you the difference through the evolution of a creature from going from maybe a amphibian to a mammal?
Well, no, Eric, I have heard all this before, and I'll be honest with you. I see how you can conclude that we're all related and everything. But I was just saying with this, every time I call the screener, ask if you're a believer or not, and I say believer. But I got to give y'all due. The more I talk to y'all, the more I'm leaning towards non-believable.
Well,
y'all pretty smart people, and I appreciate y'all talking to a hard-headed believer.
I think that you're on the right track. You're asking really good questions. I think the next step would be maybe doing a little bit more research about speciation, because
yes,
I'm not a scientist. I can't give you the right kind of explanation for that. But I think that if you emailed tv@atheistcommunity.org, we could probably find you some pretty cool sources and people who would be able to explain that to you.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I thank y'all for taking my call, and y'all have a good day.
For sure.
Absolutely. You too. Really quickly before you go, John, one of the things that was suggested in the live chat is check out Archaeopteryx. I had to look up how to spell it. Archaeopteryx. And you can, rewind the video to get back to the spelling.
Yes, sir.
And
I will for sure look that up.
Cool. And check out Aaron Ra. Aaron has an incredible grasp of this and is an amazing communicator.
I've watched his videos.
Oh, good.
I'm kind of on the fence with him. He's kind of got an attitude. But, hey.
Well, it takes all types, man. Tell you the truth, knowing him in real life, guy's a giant teddy bear.
I believe it.
All right, man. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
You too. Okay, thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.